Hello, kindred spirits, and welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin, and today we are going to be exploring your next 2 weeks, as well as a week-by-week energy forecast with the charms. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so welcome back, my beautiful kindred spirits, and anyone new who may be joining us here on the channel today as we explore these next 2 weeks during the holiday season, the height of it all. We definitely had some holiday-related energies coming forward and other charms, but there were also other things outside of the holidays that were coming forward too that I'm curious to see how you guys feel out. Feel free to choose any of the piles or start feeling out the piles, but if you would like to give back to this channel as we head towards the end of the year, definitely feel free to check out the Kindred tip jar, as anything that goes in there goes right back into the channel for different decks, supplies, and camera gear. So if that's something you'd like to do during this holiday season, feel free to check it out down below. I'm very, very grateful for anything that comes through, but don't feel pressured either. I also have all of my offerings closed as we are moving through the rest of the holiday season, and I just truly don't have the time to be able to give you guys the proper tarot readings and snail mail readings that you guys deserve. So if you're interested in the readings that I will be doing in the new year, definitely keep an eye out for those for the New Year's readings. And if you're interested in what I put out next Monday, I just want to let you guys know I usually put out new videos every single Monday, except for this coming one due to the holiday season and due to Christmas and the big holidays of that week. So I'm going to take a week off, and I just wanted to keep you guys in the know. But with all of that ado out of the way, let's go ahead and get started into looking at the piles. So I decided to use 3 new charms that I have. I'm not sure if I'm going to put them in my charm set, but I have 3 new charms here, and I thought I would share them with you all. So here for pile number 1, if you're feeling called to this specific charm of this little kitty cat, then this might be the pile for you for pile number 1. Here for pile number 2, you have the charm of this little snail. So if you're feeling called to the snail, then that would be pile 2. And then last but not least here for pile number 3, you have the charm of the anchor and rope here. So if you're feeling called to this one, that is pile number 3. But before you start heading off to the timestamps, I'd like to invite you to take a deep and cleansing breath here with me in a moment so that we can really connect with our own intuition, connect with each of the piles, and to just take a little breath here. So let's go ahead and take that breath here now. And as always, there are no rules to this. You can choose all 3 of the piles, you can choose one pile, change your mind, flip-flop between them, take little bits from each. There really are no rules here. All of the timestamps will be down below in the description alongside the chapter marks of this video. And if you're curious for any more information about the Kindred tip jar, my offerings, or more of the behind-the-scenes stuff, feel free to check out my Instagram down below as well. So with that all said, let's go ahead and get started here with pile number 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose this little cat, then this is the pile for you as we are going to be exploring your next 2 weeks. If you guys have been here before, we're going to be doing it with the charms, the numbers, letters, tarot tiles, the whole works, which I'll have as always everything listed down below in the description in case you are curious. But we are going to get right into it. I'm feeling ready. I know that it is the height of the holiday season if you're watching this when I'm uploading it. So I hope you all are taking care of yourselves out there. I know it can get busy and crazy around this time of year. So I think this could be hopefully useful for that, and just useful in general for things you might need to know. So we're going to be looking first into your letter tiles. These are going to be exploring any oracle messages that we can kind of spin together, or we can also look into any initials that are important, names, places, things like that. So definitely feel free to use your own intuition as we move through this, as well as it is so charm based. I feel like sometimes the charms can really speak to us in really intuitive ways, so definitely feel free to see what comes forward for you as well. But let's get right into it. So let's pull a few of these for you. All right, so first off, you have your cat falling off of its little ledge here, but you have T-A-I, you also have D-L, E, C, F, and L. So we've got 2 L's coming in here, so that could be an important initial. I immediately saw left here, which whenever I see like directional things, I feel like it can tell us that there's some sort of decision that we're making, right? We need to make the decision of left or right, and it's usually a really quick decision, right? If you guys have ever been trying to help navigate from the passenger seat of where to go or what exit to take or things like that, it can be kind of stressful having to be like, take a right, take a left or something like that, and you have to kind of just be on your toes, ready to go. And so maybe there's something that's going to be coming up over these next 2 weeks where you really have to be on your toes, ready, prepared for things that are just going to kind of come in or adjust quickly, right? Sometimes we take the wrong turn and we just have to, work it around the block and find our way back. So I feel like you might have situations like that might come up. Otherwise, there might be just something going on with like a left hand, a left foot, the left side of your body, that maybe there's something to pay attention to there. There's also lift instead of left as well. So there could also be something like where you're having to take a lift. I'm feeling a lot of things about travel apparently. So maybe you guys are traveling, maybe you are off to see like your dad, to see home, to go celebrate possibly. So whatever it might be, I just feel like there's definitely a lot of travel involved in these next 2 weeks for you. Or even if there's small little get-togethers or travels that you take even just down the road. But with cell here, I thought of celebrate, but also can represent like a cell phone, something being very important there. A lot of communication, a lot of like getting together, traveling, celebrating, connecting, a lot of socializing for sure with the cell phone feeling here too. So definitely checks out if it's the holiday season for sure, but you might be feeling other things from these, so feel free to mix them up and see what else comes in for you. But we're going to move on to your numbers. So similar to the letters, the numbers are actually going to showcase to us any angel numbers, repeating numbers, numbers from spirit guides that maybe you've been seeing often, as well as any important dates that might be coming through. So let's pull these as well. So here on top of cell phone or celebrate, you had the number 3 coming in here with orange, the color orange, which is a very celebratory color, right? It represents like cheer and cheerfulness, represents energy and action. And so you have all of that coming in with 3, which usually represents a gathering or a group of people. So definitely see that coming in with celebrations for sure. You also have 10, 4, and 12. 10-4 just made me think of like a trucker situation there. Another form of communication, right? And then the 12th or the 21st being maybe a very important day. 14th, 13th, 12th, or the 21st. So that's kind of what I'm getting here for you all with just the numbers. But of course, we're going to be looking even deeper, right? This is just scratching the surface, as I want to look into the one tarot card that I pull, one major tarot card that is. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to take that one because I didn't actually mix them, but if we get the Magician again, that'll be kind of spooky. But we are going to see your major theme or energy coming forward for you for the next 2 weeks and how it might be manifesting in. So definitely feel free to send your energy into the cards here. And let's see the energy most coming forward for you for these next 2 weeks. So you have one flying over here. Okay, so you have the 7 of Wands, a very intriguing card indeed. I love this new deck that I've just gotten. It's called Under the Oak Tarot, and I'm still learning it, so I really like the imagery for this, for the 7 of Wands, with this like wolf kind of hanging out in the woods here. As the 7 of Wands usually represents us having to sort of confront things that we fear or confront things that seem other, scary, or a differing opinion. So there's something showing up here of maybe having to confront a fear, confront a differing opinion, confronting something that feels other, different, weird, strange, or having to confront something that just feels a little out of place from your normal. So I really like that this is coming forward in this specific kind of imagery here, kind of like lighting your path towards those things, kind of in a more gentle way. So I really like that this is coming forward. There's a tenderness to this, a gentleness to this. It doesn't feel like you're like facing your fears. It's rather you're just sort of confronting them, having a conversation with them, trying to understand rather than brute force or trying to overcome your fears through a more intense method. So that's kind of what I'm really getting here for your next 2 weeks for the major theme and energy. But of course, we're going to look into the charms and see what they have to say here on the charm mat, because we're going to be looking into that same sort of energy of what is majorly coming in here in the center. Anything that falls on this side of, or the left side, which maybe that could be the indicating a lot happening here on the first week, but anything that happens here on the left side will be the first week. Anything that happens here on the right side will be the second week, and then the moons will tell us a little bit more as well. So let's start first with your tarot tiles, see what they have to say. So feel free to connect with them in there, and I'll pull some for you. All right, these were like sweeping up on top of my hand, and so I just felt called to those. Most of them are falling kind of towards the edges of the week, so I'm curious to see what that is about. We did get the the Ace of Pentacles hanging out here in the first week. Let's see some more information with the charms, so we'll mix these up as well. Okay, so you get kind of a splash of charms, as well as a couple that fell into my lap, so I'm going to see if they wish to be there as well. And let's just go ahead and start here in the center, right? Because we talked about you having that main energy already coming in with that Seven of Wands, but you also have a couple of other things happening here too. I'll put this on this side so you can really see it. So some of the major themes coming in here as well for your next 2 weeks, we've got the Leaf of Change. This represents seasonal changes, more outward changes, maybe a change to your appearance, maybe you're getting your sweaters out, maybe you're feeling a chill in the air, maybe it's an environmental change, but some sort of change that's happening outside of yourself that will be coming in the next 2 weeks and have more of an impact for you. You also have the arrow. This is the like arrowhead here. I always think of this as like pure determination and will to make something happen, right? This was just a rock, and yet it is now a powerful weapon or a pointer or a tool in which one could use. And so there's something showcasing here as well, that you're using your will to change something in your life to create some sort of celebration or success. It does say celebrator at the bottom here. But I also see this as relating to the idea of the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is all about celebrating our wins, celebrating our successes, celebrating our joy and our cheer. And so I like that this is all coming in here, right? We've got change, we've got determination, willpower, and then you also have a lot of success coming in here too. Part of that success might be coming in from spirit guides that might be helping you, as this represents a spirit guide helping you along your path from behind the scenes, and kind of helping you to navigate possible fears that may be coming in here. Maybe you're having fears around success, maybe having fears around a certain celebration that's coming in, as it does say celebrator down here. Or maybe it's about your own determination, willpower, and whether you have the willpower to move through something that might be quite difficult, as this is also a mountain goat. And right, mountain goats have to climb the mountain. And so maybe there's something that you're having to really climb relating to this change. Maybe it's a chronic pain thing, or another seasonal change that may be coming forward. So that's what I'm getting here from those main energies, but we're going to look into week 1 now So let me pull back a little bit for you guys. So here in week 1, we got a couple of different things happening here on the edges, which we'll talk about in a moment, but you did get a couple of them happening straight in the week. So the 3 that you really got here, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, which represents a new beginning of some sort. It's usually a beginning relating to the Pentacle suit, which is work, maybe an opportunity that comes in. Maybe it kind of feels like a little bit of money that might be coming in. Could be a bonus. Maybe it's a holiday bonus. Maybe it's just a little bit of like a present that's coming in, right? There's a lot of things that could be holiday related, but even if it isn't holiday related, it could just mean that you have some sort of opportunity coming in at work around this time of year. Maybe you're getting a bit of a raise, something like that. It feels like there's just like a little bit of something. It's not like a ton. It's not like you're getting hundreds of billions of dollars, but you're definitely getting like just a little bit of support or a gift coming your way. It definitely feels related again though to time, because you do to this time of year, because you did get the timing charm of temporary. It represents temporary energy. It's not going to stay forever. It's not something that's going to last. But this little bit of luck, this little bit of gift giving or extra money coming in could just be related to this time of year. You also have the anchor charm. Couldn't come up with the word for some reason. The anchor charm coming in here. The anchor usually represents needing to set sail on something that we've been holding back on, right? Because when we set down the anchor, that's, it's to kind of stay put or to stay back on land, to hold ourselves back. But, we've got to leave the shore. We've got to head out. We've got to go on those adventures. And to do that, we've got to take the initiative to pull up the anchor. And that can be a lot of work, especially with those fears that you might be facing in this first week. Bringing it back to that left or right, having to quickly make a decision could be happening in this first week as well, because the anchor has been lifted. But maybe you're just not feeling as anchored, or feeling like you can't trust that anchor as much in the first week. As for the second week here, you have a couple of other things happening here. We've got this little dog here. I always think of this as something sort of stretching out, because it is like one of the little wiener dogs here, or the little hot dogs. So when I think of this one, it makes me think of like something that's been stretched out. So maybe you just feel like the second week is just really going to be drawing itself out. It's going to be a long week. You've got a lot going on. Even if it's going to be quick moving, it's going to just feel like there's just a lot happening. There's a lot to string out. So that's the feeling that I'm getting here from this little charm. You also have the figgy pudding charm. This makes me think, I've never had figgy pudding, but I usually see this as representing decadence, or enjoying like the sweeter things in life, enjoying those sweet treats and happy little things, and little treats that we get in our lives. It doesn't have to be food related. It can just be, indulging in something. And so maybe you're going to be indulging or enjoying those little joys in life here in the second week. You also have the Queen of Pentacles here, which a lot of pentacle energy, a lot of things related to career and or related to, gift giving, things that we're going to be receiving, things we can physically hold and handle. So I really feel like you're maybe just getting, some nice little gifts, feeling really loved or appreciated. And then this also is such a nurturing energy too, that feels like someone is really looking out for you too. It feels like someone's maybe seeing your successes, realizing the time and care and effort that you've put in, maybe to help someone, maybe at work, maybe your boss is recognizing the time and care you're putting in. Maybe it's a customer or someone which you work with. But regardless, there's something showing up here where you're definitely feeling very appreciated in the second week. As for everything that we have going on up here, there's like a whole little medley. So I'm very curious what is going on, as usually we don't get this many on the moon cycle. So if you guys follow the moon cycle, maybe this is because you really need to see all of this. But as we are heading into these next 2 weeks, we're just coming out of the full moon, we're heading towards the new moon, so we're actually kind of over here in the moon cycle, right down here where you can't even see, and we're heading up. So this is a lot of your future energy to come, and we have like a protective energy. We have an energy showcasing the 10 of Cups, which represents more of those little joys. So around that time, just before the new moon, is when those little joys are really going to come in. The unknown feeling, those fears might be coming back back in as well around the new moon. And then you also have the little Fool energy. I also see this as like a little jester. So I see it also as being kind of playful or taking a load off or just enjoying, some funny, fart jokes and random stuff and just being kind of like kid-like. I really like this Joker energy. It's just trying not to be so serious, because I feel like maybe you've been, especially with this 8 of Cups here, been quite serious for a while with a lot of things that have been going on. And so right after the new moon, you've had all this joy, all this celebration, all this energy where you've maybe even had to feel like you had to protect yourself from some of that joy or from those fears. Coming out of it feeling quite like a sigh of relief, like you're just so ready to just exist in your own space, to laugh, to be silly, to just be unserious for a little while. And so I like that that's coming in as well, just after the new moon. So overall, those are all of your charms and your cards here today. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading and you got something out of it. And if you did, definitely be sure to give this video a like and let me know in the comments down below. I always am curious to hear what you guys see, especially since you might have seen something different. And have you guys ever had figgy pudding? I have no idea what it even tastes like, but I'd love to hear. Maybe that's something you guys are going to be indulging or enjoying this season. And also, if you are interested in any of the other pick a card readings that I put out on the channel, I put them out every single Monday for love, career, spirituality, and so on. And if you're curious for more, there's over 200 videos already on the channel, so definitely feel free to subscribe. I will not be putting out a new video next Monday though, just for the holidays, but after that I'll be right back into it. And if you want to spread a little bit more cheer on this channel and support this space a little bit, definitely feel free to check out the Kindred tip jar. Everything that goes in there goes right back into the channel for different deck supplies and memory cards and things for my camera and equipment. So if you're interested in helping out to keep the space running, definitely feel free to check that out down below. And with that all said, I'm going to go ahead and close off this reading for you all. I'm wishing you the best for the rest of your holiday season and the rest of the new year, or rather heading towards the new year. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 2. If you decide to choose this little snail, then this is the pile for you, as we are going to be exploring your next 2 weeks to see what is coming in for you over the holiday season, as well as a week by week charm cast. We're going to be doing it with the charms here, the tarot tiles, numbers, letters, the whole shebang. I'll have all of it listed down below in the description in case you're curious what decks and supplies I'm using here today. But we are going to get right into it. I'm feeling raring to go today. I just don't want no chit chat here at the beginning, just ready to get right into it and see what you got going on for your next 2 weeks. So let's zoom you on in. You have the snail that you've chosen, so I do wonder if there's like a feeling of wanting to slow down or hunker in, be tender with yourself, or just take the slower road. But we'll see if, time is going to allow that to happen. Of course, it is the holiday season. As of when I'm posting this, you might be watching it at a different time though. But yeah, let's get right into it. We're going to start first with the letter tiles, and the letters are going to be showcasing to us any oracle messages, names, initials, or other important information we need to hear. So we're going to start with these. Do want to just mention, definitely feel free to use your own intuition as we move through this. Nothing's set in stone. If you see something here that you're seeing very differently, feel free to use that information and run with it. So let's go ahead and see your letters. Okay, so all of them are hidden here. You have L, O, C, O, E, I. Interesting. I was wondering if we were going to get lock here, because, like I said, they were all not revealing themselves, which doesn't happen. It does happen, but it doesn't now. Usually I've got 1 or 2 letters that flip over the first time. So to get something where it feels like it's locked and we didn't even get the full lock here makes me feel like there's something of a secret surprise, something that we're trying to withhold information about, something. It doesn't have to be necessarily for a bad reason, especially with holidays, right? A lot of us are not wanting to share everything that we are working on for other people that we want to gift or to spread cheer with, or just want to, brighten someone's day with, or something like that. So there is something like under lock and key here. Other than that, you also only have 2 consonants here to work with. All the rest of them are vowels. And whenever I see this, it can represent us having a harder time communicating. Sometimes our communication feels a little bit less verbal, more nonverbal, or through our hands and our gestures. Sometimes we just don't speak as eloquently as we'd like to, or we have a harder time finding our words. So whenever I see a lot of vowels, it usually represents more of that body language sort of feeling towards it versus, communicating as well very like directly. So we have that coming in here. You also have cell, which I think is interesting because this came in the last pile as well, and it almost says cello as well, but so maybe you guys are instrumentalists or something like that, but you do have cell here. And when I saw it in the other pile, I was thinking of celebrations. I thought of it as our cell phone, but this also feels like cell, almost like you want to kind of isolate yourself, or you want a little bit of like that feeling again of kind of hiding away, taking a bit of time, having this hermit energy coming forward. And so I really feel like there could be that energy too of just feeling like you need a little bit of a sensory break, need a little bit of time off, heading to the bathroom during big social gatherings just so you can chill and calm down a little bit. Whatever you may need, I do feel like that energy is coming forward here. There's also, like I said, though, a feeling of celebrations or being on your cell phone quite a lot, or there's a lot of things related to your cell phone or socializing in some way. So we have that coming in here as well. But there's not a lot that we can really work with here because there weren't a lot of letters that wanted to show up. So we're going to keep these here. Maybe you saw something else though. And we'll move on to your numbers and see what they have to say. So your numbers are quite similar to the letters, but in this case, we're looking into any repeating numbers that are coming through from spirit guides that you have, angel numbers, or you can even see them as important dates, times, or things like that. So let's go ahead and pull some for you. Okay. So you have here 8 in black, 9 in black, and 3 in black. So all of them are in black. I always feel like black just represents really neutral energy. Nothing crazy happening here, nothing of real big note. But you do have a succession of numbers, right? 3, 8, and 9. You also have 8, 3, 9 or 9, 3, 8. You can mix them up as you'd like. But they're not really showing a lot of really important dates or anything really specific here. It almost feels like they just are like the numbers like, you can take them, you can leave them. Do what you'd like with them. So they may have more importance to you on your end. So we'll move forward. So let's go ahead and move on to your big tarot cards. We're going to be seeing what this one is for the main energies coming forward for you. Like this is the main theme, the overarching theme of your next 2 weeks. So definitely feel free to send your energy into the cards. And let's pull one for you. Group 2. For the next 2 weeks, group 2. All right, so you have this King of Pentacles coming forward. This is such an interesting King of Pentacles. It's not the typical king sitting with their cake and eating it too kind of feeling. This king is definitely very much holding on to their possessions quite tightly in a way, but also very aware that more abundance is to come. There's something about this one, though, that always, for some reason in this deck, it gives me more of the feeling of networking that the King of Pentacles doesn't really usually talk about. In that, when we acquire wealth, when we acquire our homes, our goods, the things that we go out to buy, our groceries, all of the things that Pentacles represent, right? Career, material things, our home, our body, right? They represent the tangible things, the earthly things. And so if we're talking about that when it comes to the King of Pentacles, he's very abundant in those things, or they're very abundant in these things. And I feel like there's such a networking feeling from all of these sort of ribbons of light coming out here, or these lightning sort of strikes here. And it kind of just strikes me as this idea that they're really having to work for this, right? It's not like it just all immediately comes to them, or they're just naturally wealthy or naturally have all of these things, right? They've had to really work hard for them, and they've had to really network and kind of make their voice heard, make their ideas known, really put their foot in the door. And so when I'm looking at this card, it's really making me think that you are in a position right now to possibly network, to socialize, to have an opportunity come forward, or just be at the top of your game, or share, how far you've come, and just celebrate that as well. But there's definitely this feeling, I don't know, this is really reminding me because of like this like kind of snail-like feeling and sluggy feeling, that maybe you don't see that in yourself, the capabilities that you have for networking, the natural charming abilities that you maybe have to acquire this wealth, to acquire the home that you wish for, to acquire the goods that you need, to acquire whatever resource you're looking for. And I feel like over these next 2 weeks, you're going to be possibly out of your typical element, but others are going to see where you shine. Because there's this like magnetic feeling to this card, and that you have this natural magnetism that I don't feel like you take as much advantage of as you could. And so that's the feeling that I'm getting here. I do understand though, wanting to sort of hide it away. It can be a very difficult thing to want to share or to shine a light on, but I definitely am getting this feeling from that card that you have this natural magnetism and networking ability that maybe you haven't really taken advantage of recently. But we're going to look into this further, as we are going to look at the charm mat here. Anything that falls here in the center is going to be related to that King of Pentacles, or the main energies coming forward. Here on the left side is going to be week 1, right side week 2, and then anything on the moons we'll talk about individually for timing or on the moon cycles. So let's begin first with your tarot tiles, and then we'll pull some charms to go along with them. So feel free to connect, and we'll pull some for you. Okay. So most of them have not revealed themselves, although we do have the 5 of Pentacles as well as the 6 of Cups over here. But we'll look further, of course, with the charms. So we'll mix these up as well. Feel free to have a little chat with them first, and I'll mix them up. Okay. This is an interesting little mix. Let's see. I'm going to zoom you in. All right, so here we are at the central portion of your reading, and you have this King of Pentacles as well as, and in conjunction with, the Tower. But not only the Tower, you have the Tower reversed. And usually the Tower has this huge lightning strike, which I find it so interesting. We've got all this lightning energy, something lighting you up, this magnetism, something that feels electrifying. I don't know how to explain it in any other way, right? It's just very much that lightning energy. But the thing is, usually the Tower, when it is upright, represents sudden changes that are outside of our control usually. And in this case, it represents a change that you have brought upon yourself, a change that is happening from within versus without, and is a change that feels like it's just like striking you in this very fast, all of a sudden kind of way. And so I really feel like there's going to be this really big change in your mindset, or how you look at yourself, maybe how others view you, that magnetism that's coming forward, the way in which you can acquire things. Maybe there's going to be a shift in perspective for something when it comes to like your career. Maybe someone's going to be seeing you in a different light that might lead to different opportunities. Maybe it's through networking. Maybe it's an opportunity that arrives to you because of all of the networking and work that you've done behind the scenes. Or maybe it's more, like I said, an internal change, a change that is more subconscious, or like an aha moment that is kind of unlocked for you. It does seem like it's not going to be an easy thing to move through necessarily, as you did get the hacksaw here. The hacksaw usually represents something that needs to be cut off, or something that needs to change but in a way that isn't necessarily as clean cut, right? It's kind of hacking something away. And so if we're looking at that, it does mean that maybe isn't going to be the easiest sudden change or the easiest thing to face, but it does seem to be something that over time is going to probably benefit you, as the king seems very resourceful and very much in their element here. Even if you maybe, again, don't really feel that you are. There's like this insecurity that I'm feeling here from this card. Let's have a little look at week 1 here. Interesting that you got the anchor charm, as this one also came up in the same spot for group 1. So something about the anchor is coming forward quite heavily for the majority of us. The anchor usually represents, right, something that we're anchoring down, something we are holding ourselves back from. I usually think of it as like, right, sometimes it can be a really helpful thing when we need to like hunker down, slow down, but this usually, the way I'm seeing it today, it really feels like it's time to let the anchor, rise and get back out there. And so there's something showing up around you getting back out there, adventuring a little bit more, possibly traveling a little bit more in the first week. You have that surrounding the retreat card, which makes sense with travel, with the 8 of Cups. You also have the little, I see this always as like little chromosomes. So maybe something relating to your body or physical changes that are happening for you, as well as this little kind soul. When I see this one, it always makes me feel like someone giving you a little gift, or someone wanting to lift you up or care for you, comfort you, something like that. So I did get this feeling as well for group 1, where there was this feeling with the chromosomes and the body feeling, maybe someone is comforting you through pain that you might be in, or something related to your body, chronic pain that might be happening, something related to the weather. But that does seem to be coming forward here in the first week. You also have a couple of other things though. We've got the selfless charm, so someone may be selflessly looking after you, or maybe you're selflessly looking after someone within your family. There also is this little hammer here. I'm not getting a ton from the hammer, other than like maybe being more resourceful in the first week, especially since you also have the guard. Ooh, okay, so this is giving me maybe where this insecurity might be coming from when it comes to that king that we were talking about, and that aha moment, that realizing your own charms and gifts when it comes to that electrifying energy that you have, that natural magnetism, as you do have the 5 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Pentacles here represents, going through a personal hardship, whether that is financially, or if it's related to like a more body related something, as you do have someone here kind of going through it in that way. And so when I'm looking at these two, and then you've got the security key, I see this as like having your guard up. And the reason why you might have your guard up around your money or your possessions is because you've gone through personal hardships and hardfalls around this time of year. And so you're just kind of have your guard up. You're kind of like ready. You're kind of bracing for something in the first week. Not to say that it's happening, but that maybe is something that you are experiencing. Here in the second week, we have another little chromosome one, but this usually represents and relates to you as an individual. So again, a lot of body related things coming forward here. You have the not the King of Pentacles, but you do have the Emperor, which is very similar energies, I find. So that same like leadership energy, magnetism, that natural leader is coming forward for you. And maybe it's to lead someone who is like a young one in your life, as you do have the 6 of Cups. And it can represent sometimes looking out for younger versions of ourselves, or reconnecting with a younger version of ourselves and kind of using them to lead. But regardless, I do kind of just feel like you're like looking out for someone in the first week, or in the second week, but the first half of the second week, taking care of someone emotionally as well as physically. And then you also have the Pisces charm coming in here too. So this could be a Pisces, or it could be related to your intuition, your intuitive gifts. But I really feel like it's possibly a Pisces or someone in a water sign. You also have like music being very important in the second week. The way that it keeps like flipping over makes me feel like you like want to dance, or someone around you really wants to dance. Maybe you have like these secret dance moves coming forward, as you did get the secret locket charm. there's a lot of secrecy here, right? We had a lot of that when it came to your letters as well that we pulled, this secret feeling, this lock and key. And you have a lot of like being on your guard, kind of withholding yourself, holding yourself back a little bit, holding back your own natural magnetism and gifts. Maybe because you don't want certain people around. Maybe it's related to just needing to take some time for yourself, having like a solo dance party here. But regardless, I would say the biggest things coming forward here for you are related to having someone care for you or care for another, working through some insecurities that may be coming forward from past experiences around money or around your health. And then there's also situations happening here relating to a big sudden aha change in mindset around yourself. And so those are the biggest energies that I have coming forward for you for the next 2 weeks. I do hope that this has been useful and helpful to you in navigating them. If it was, definitely be sure to give this video a like and let me know in the comments down below how it connected with you, if you saw something different. I truly would love to hear. And if you're interested in the pick a card readings that I do, I put them out every single Monday except next Monday because I will be enjoying, celebrations with my own family. But outside of that one Monday, I put them out every single Monday. And if you're interested in any of the 200 videos I have already for pick a card readings, educational videos, and art magic, then definitely feel free to subscribe. And if you would like to give a little bit back to this channel, definitely feel free to check out the Kindred tip jar, as everything that goes in there goes right back into the channel for deck supplies and other means of support. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check it out down below. But I am wishing you the best for your next 2 weeks, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 3. If you've decided to choose this anchor, then this is the pile for you, as we are going to be exploring your next 2 weeks with the charms, with the numbers, letter tiles, tarot tiles, you know the works. So we're going to have all of that listed down below for you so you can check out anything that you'd like to know about the different decks and supplies that I'll be using here for you today. But I do find it interesting that you have chosen the anchor, as the rest of the piles so far have been receiving this anchor charm, and I'm very curious to see if you guys get it today, as you already have that anchor energy coming forward, or maybe it's just a common thread and theme that's just going on for the majority of us. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and start here with the reading. We're going to be looking into your next 2 weeks first with the letter tiles, and if you are not used to these readings, we're going to start with the letter tiles, as they're going to showcase any oracle messages we have coming forward, any initials or important names, places, other things that you'd like to spell, and definitely feel free to spell whatever you see as well. And we're also going to be using many other very intuitive supplies, so feel free to use your own intuition as you move through this reading as well. I always welcome that. So let's get into it. Group 3. Okay, so I find it interesting that you got no and nah. Like, no, nah, I'm not into that. So there's something coming in here of like a halt or a boundary, or just like a straight up no, we are not into this. Maybe it's around the anchor since the anchor fell, but I feel like it is more so that you're maybe putting down a boundary over the next 2 weeks. You're not interested in something, you want people to know it's a no, it's a nah, I'm not into it. So alongside that energy, let's see what else you have. You have N-O-A, A, E, and W. You also have new coming in here, something new. Maybe something new that's making you want to say no to something, that's making you want to put down a boundary, something new that's come in that has you kind of like, I don't know if I like that. There's definitely some apprehension here about this newness. But it's, like I said, it doesn't have to be a hard no because you did get a nah, but I really do feel like there's a feeling of something new coming in that you're just not interested in. And right, sometimes we think of new things as always being new and exciting and amazing and the best stuff ever, but sometimes we're just not into it. It's not what we want. And so that's really what I'm getting from your letters. There's not much else I can really do here because you have very few, which has been happening with the other piles as well. We're not really pulling a ton, just spirit isn't really showcasing a lot, but we'll see if we get a lot of numbers alongside them. So the numbers are going to represent any messages from spirits with repeating numbers, angel numbers. We can also look into any important dates or other energies coming forward with numerology. So let's mix these as well. Okay, so you have a couple that's scattered over here with 12 and 6, as well as 4. So we've got 4 and 12 both in orange, very action-oriented numbers. When I see orange, it represents action, forward movement, cheer, getting things done. It can represent that fiery energy. And then you have 6, which represents harmony. It's a number of harmony, and it's in the blue color of harmony. So something is kind of mellowing out near possibly like the 26th or even the 27th. If you mix those together, 25th, 26th, 27th. Also, with that energy that I was talking about where it's like that fiery energy, 12 represents a lot of the time things to do with timing, a dozen, or it represents like the 12 months in a year, if you follow the 12 months of the year. So maybe you're just trying to get something done, wrapped up, finished at the end of the year. And 4 represents kind of a lot of the time earthly pursuits. So it really feels like you're trying to like finish something up, complete something so that you can feel that relief, letting that deadline be finished off. So that's really what I'm getting here from those, but feel free to see if there's something else coming forward for you as we move on to your main energy card. So we're going to look into the tarot cards here to see what you got coming in for the main theme and energy for your next 2 weeks. So if you send your energy into any of the supplies here today, I would say it would be this one. So let's go ahead and pull one for you. Group 3, the next 2 weeks, the energy most prevalent and coming forward most deeply over the next 2 weeks, the most overarching energy for group 3 for the next 2 weeks. Okay, we've got the 6 of Swords here. And the 6 of Swords, especially with all that new energy and that feeling of boundaries, like look at this card, it really feels like there's what was behind you and there is what is to come, right? And what I really like about this card too is it represents, usually we have like a boat showcasing someone moving forward or changing our mindset or, going from rough waters to much more calm waters. And in this case, it really feels like you're needing to communicate a boundary. You're really needing to say this is what it is, but it doesn't feel aggressive, right? It doesn't feel like it's coming from an aggressive place, right? There's all these pretty little butterflies hanging out around you in this card. And so when I'm looking at this, it really feels like you're, just stating what it is, stating what you want. And in doing so, I feel like people are actually going to show you more respect and understand you in a much more clear way. And so I really like that this is coming forward in the way that it is, that it's not that you're having to push back or fight back others. It just is, this is what it is, this is what I needed to say, and this is where we're at. And I really like that that is coming forward for you all. It's a really empowering message and an empowering energy to be within. This also can represent a change in mindset as well. So we'll see if we get anything like that coming forward with your charms as we move forward. So we're going to be pulling some charms here and we're going to cast them onto the charm mat. Anything that falls here in the center is going to be related more to that 6 of Swords energy, looking into anything that's coming in for those main themes and energies for the next 2 weeks. Anything that falls here on the left of this sort of line here, dividing everything, will be related to week 1. Anything on the right will be related to week 2, and then we'll talk about the moon phases individually if they show up. So let's begin first with your tarot tiles. So as always, feel free to connect and I will pull some for you. Okay, that was really quick. Let's see what else you have coming in with the charms too, so we can get everything in here. So feel free to have a little convo with them first, and I'll mix them as well. Okay, very interesting how the charms wanted to show up today. They were just very like clumped together. Right, we've got like this very strong clumping here, which just means that a lot of the energies are related to one another, which is sometimes really nice when it comes to reading these, so it can be very clear and concise. So let's see what you've got going on in the center. Lots of big mindset changes, especially with what we've got coming in here. You have oh my goodness, we've got a lot of shifts and changes for sure. We have the closure charm. We have the innocent charm. So it really feels like one door is closing, another door is opening because of the boundaries that you're putting forward. We have the justice card, which represents that feeling of boundaries, putting down a boundary and the consequences there on the other end. You also have the hanged one charm card, as well as the 8 of cups, which this has come up in every single pile, I believe. So that's another common theme that keeps coming forward, but it's been manifesting in different ways for each of you. This card really has quite a similar energy to the 6 of Swords. As you can see, they are trying to retreat and move away from an emotional situation that can feel toxic, feel overwhelming, overstimulating, just too much, right? They're just walking away from it. They're retreating. They're taking a step away to gain a better perspective and see what they really need and what is really needed here. And so that could be related to that closure feeling, as the up button represents, closing and opening something. And so I really feel like you are in a situation over these next 2 weeks where you are kind of going through this song and dance of having to put some boundaries down, but in putting those boundaries down, it's because you're moving away from maybe a situation that is not emotionally really that great for you, needing a bit of a retreat, needing a fresh perspective. And I feel like you're kind of trying to people are maybe dancing around as well, because I'm getting this dance feeling from the treble clef here. And so I really feel like someone is maybe dancing around these boundaries that you're putting out, which isn't, a very nice feeling, but it feels like someone is maybe dancing around them, trying to get around them. And I think it's important to, reiterate that when you state a boundary and someone's trying to cross that boundary that you've placed out, it's usually because they gain something on the other side. And in you placing that boundary, they're losing whatever it is that they were previously gaining on the other side. And so sometimes we get a bit of that pushback and someone trying to weasel their way back in. And so just be very careful of who that may be and what that may be related to. And it could also just be a boundary with yourself that you're working through as well. But let's see what you have going on over here as well for the first week. So actually, I'll keep you guys zoomed in because it's all kind of in the same area. You have here the Chariot card. So it's going to be a fast-moving week, I would say. The Chariot card definitely has this fast-moving energy. It also represents needing to kind of decide something in the first week, maybe having to really make a clear decision about something that has been on your mind. So I really feel like something is going to be cleared up. Maybe it's going to make you feel more secure about something that you have felt a bit down about, because we did get the Black Heart. So this usually represents maybe an emotional situation that can either be toxic or feeling a bit under the weather or feeling a little depressed or whatever it might be, a little in our head. And this seems to be an energy that maybe you're aware of that was going to be coming forward. It seems like you had that perspective already in mind that you might be feeling the feelings that you have. It feels like you have this foresight feeling that you're going to be feeling the way that you are, maybe a bit down or a bit in a toxic situation when it comes to the first week. Because you did get the higher perspective charm of the Eiffel Tower, and you did get this secure charm, so it feels like it's something that you were already, not necessarily welcoming, but something that you were maybe already aware you would be navigating. And there's something about you wanting to make a decision related to this. Maybe a decision, maybe this is when that boundary is going to be pressed, or maybe it is a sort of willpower and determination to move through it. Here in the second week, you have a couple of other things. You've got the wish-making card of the 9 of Cups. This usually can represent you making a wish and a wish being granted, so that's really nice in the second week. You also have, when it comes to this 9 of Cups, it represents fulfillment, feeling more fulfilled, feeling more emotionally stable in comparison to everything else you've had going on here. So it really feels like things are turning around in this second week. You also have the clothespin charm right next to the mouse, and the clothespin represents putting things out to dry or putting things like, just pinning it up somewhere and we'll come back to it later. Like, we're just going to pin it, we'll come back to it later. So that's the feeling that I'm getting here from this one. The energy that you're going to be pinning up for later and coming back to it later is related to a stubbornness. So maybe you knew you might have this stubborn mindset in the second week, maybe related to an event, to a holiday, to a celebration or a situation that might be coming through. But regardless of what it is, it seems like you're hanging that energy up. Or if it is related to someone else whom you know will have that stubborn energy, it's also maybe pinning them to another day to kind of deal with or work through. So overall, those are all the cards and charms that I have for you, group 3. You had a very fast moving pile. I feel like it was very clear and concise, so I really hope that this has been helpful and useful to you moving through your next 2 weeks. And if it was, definitely be sure to give this video a like and let me know in the comments down below how it resonated, if you saw something different, if you know who and what and all of this is related to. I'd love to hear. And if you are interested in the other pick a card readings that I put out on this channel, I put out new readings every single Monday except next Monday just due to the holidays. Most Mondays I put out new videos for love, career, spirituality, for these pick a card readings, as well as educational videos that I like to scatter in for art, magic, and charm casting. So definitely feel free to subscribe if you're interested, and I have over 200 videos that you can go ahead and check out already. And if you are interested in supporting the space during the holiday season or any season, feel free to check out the Kindred tip jar, as everything that goes in there goes right back into the channel for different deck supplies and camera gear and things like that. So definitely feel free to check out the Kindred tip jar down below. Super grateful for anything that comes through there. And with that all said, I'm wishing you the best for the rest of your holiday season and towards the end of the year. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.